An opportunity to speak with the head of CID, ACP Mugwisaje, and he has informed me that he's out of jurisdiction. He has gone on official duty, but he has committed to making an appearance here next time he's summoned to give this honorable committee an update of.
We shall have a report next week from Mr. Mugwisaje. For now, Mugwisaje will come here. Of course, the question Honorable Chiwanuka is asking is legitimate, except that interrogating it will take time. Because, yes, CID to take up the matter in liaison with Frank Rusa, with the CID of Kcca, to give us a report by Tuesday on how far they have moved. Okay? Then, Mr. Rusa? You have this. Who told you you can eat before you work? Okay, you may access.
I told you, Chair, he's looking for fresh air.
Okay. Frank, you have forgotten what St. Paul said. Before you work, forget about eating. Frank, what you do, you're going to work with our CID in processing that report to be brought here on Tuesday. Among the terms, you must establish who the accounting officer was, who the director health and environment was, who was in charge of Chitezi. Look at the handover between Otada and the Kcca, or Kcca, yes, Kcca. Then the handover between Kcca and Nippon. What was handed over. ED, you need to facilitate that process, not in terms of money, but provision of documents. Okay, let's go to 1.62, management of waste by Kcca. Sorry? Honorable Naume Kabasharira, would you want to introduce yourself? For the record, you've been seated there and talking, but we have not captured your presence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Naume Kabashara. I represent Rushen County in Ntungamo district.
You need to give assurance that you survived the storms that were in Ntungamo.
I did.
So I
was saying that you can now go and eat.
Okay. Frank, you can now eat some mandas, because when you're out there, you say, Avali Mukulia, you also eat. Honorable Sivambi, introduction.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I apologize, I came a little bit late. Adopted it as our guiding tool, and the forward I gave here was quite instructive on what needed to be done to address disasters in the city. So this is the guiding instrument. Thereafter, Chair, yes, Chair, and thereafter, Chair, we did the profiling of the disasters we are prone to. This is the multi-hazard risk and vulnerability profile for the capital city. We profiled all the disasters here in this huge report. We went ahead, Chair. You can see Kampala Capital City Authority Emergency Response Plan for Disaster Risk Management. This is 2025-2030. This is the agenda on how to manage the disaster. We also adopted this one. The Kampala Capital City Authority Emergency Response Plan, Disaster Management. So, Chair, these is 3 instruments, I'm afraid to say, with a lot of disillusionment, have not yet been implemented. And this relates to some of the structural challenges we are facing. So the audit query is...
Let's receive them first. This one is called the Kampala Capital City Authority Emergency Response Plan for Disaster Risk Management 2530. The second is the updated multi-hazard risk and vulnerability profile for Kampala Capital City. And procurement reference number Kcca GKMA CONS 24 to 25 to 000-2020, June 25, Kampala Disaster Risk and Climate Change Resilience Strategy. Thank you. You were telling us.
Mr. Chairman, some clarification on the policies. The Chairman, on the documents submitted.
Yes.
The Chairman, we have a national policy for disaster preparedness and management as a country policy. So the implementation mechanism the mayor is talking about should be in line with this one, with this national policy, because it is only national policy.
So have you observed that it is not?
Until we get it, so.
You see, Honorable Kwizera, he is presenting their efforts. It is up to us to read them and say they are consistent or not.
So now the Auditor General considered which document?
Chair,
Proceed.
those instruments are anchored on the National Disaster Response Policy. They are in tandem. There is no contradiction. And Chair, from there, I embarked on the journey, personally, of implementing those ones in line with the National Disaster Response Policy and also operationalization of the mechanisms. And Chair, what I have encountered as personally as the Lord Mayor.
Just a minute. Where is the clerk? CID, can you arrest the clerk and bring him back? This meeting will be suspended for 5 minutes.
How are you doing?
Instruments are there, but now implementation has become a little problematic in that
Honorable Sabambi, I need everybody's attention.
the question of a budget line for the same is a clog in the way, on the way, because right now, Chair, personally, I asked, where is the budget line for this? Unfortunately, the answers are no.
For the what?
For disaster response, generally speaking. And now management prepared the concept paper for the same. And if it pleases you again, Chair, I'd like to share it with you.
Yeah, share with us. Edgar?
You can see, Chair, it's a proposed concept note for operationalization of the city
The
disaster.
same is received accordingly, and please distribute to members.
Proposed concept note for operationalization of the state disaster risk policy committee and other disaster management committees at local level in the city. And now, Chair, the composition is there, but I'll just straight away take you to the problematic area on page 9. Source of funding. Lobby government during national planning and budgeting process to provide for disaster preparedness contingent fund. And now, how much was required according to management? Chair, you can go to page Yes, page 12.
Yeah.
You can see page 12 there. Project cost. Constitution and operationalization of the disaster preparedness committee. It requires 13.3 million. And to date, Chair, that has not been provided because for me, I don't do the technical work. So that's where we are. As you can see, there are other components down, disaster risk management committees at a local level and so on and so forth, and the entire budget is there. But at the city level, that's what was required.
Have you looked at the national budget on disaster preparedness? Because if you're asking us for 8.9 billion, and we're already grappling with it at a national level, it is still problematic. But this you have written, it is proposed. Have you approved it?
Not yet. We are still discussing it at the state executive committee level.
So we are safe. We cannot be asked to why we didn't provide for this because it is still in proposal form. Do you have the committee? I think the question was raised. Do you have the disaster management committee in your city?
Chair, we started with the instruments, then thereafter in 2020, I presented the composition of the committee to council when we are still sitting under the COVID guidelines. It was constituted, and the only thing we managed was that small intervention that was given for COVID management, because there was that fund.
The question is, do you have...
The committee is there, but it's not operational as of now because of funds.
Okay. Yes, Edie.
Thank you, Chair.
Procedure?
Yeah, Chair, I'm seeing an intruder here. I don't know if he has introduced himself or is part of us.
He will give you an uppercut.
The Member of Parliament representing Nakawa East constituency in Parliament of Uganda. I am the Shadow Minister for Kampala and Affairs, and I am equally the chairperson for the Kampala City Roads Committee. And very soon I will pronounce my next end of action.
Okay.
But I'm taking on the city zone.
Now you know the intruder. Edie?
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson picking from...
Maybe forgive us. There is another intruder from very fine Kasiro. Is the Kasiro MP.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Elijah Okupa, Member of Parliament from Kasilo County, not Busiro. A member of the committee.
Okay, he's a member of the committee. Let's hear from Edie.
Chair, thank you. Starting from disaster management or risk management, as you've heard, we approved the multi-hazard risk vulnerability profile in June 2025 and the emergency response plan also in June 2025. We have started on implementation. We currently have the disaster management committees at the city authority and the divisions. We have also trained them on disaster management. We are only in the final process of finalizing constitution of the operationalization of the disaster committee at the political wing where I am a secretary. I'm also happy to report that we now have a functional risk management unit with a substantive officer manning it. And we are going into implementation of what we put in the plan. Although the funding is not adequate, but we have some funding from the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Affairs Urban Development Project, which we have used to develop these documents and also institutionalize those committees. Chair, on these other queries which you mentioned, particularly on the issue of Dundu, it is true we procured the 135 acres of land, but I would also like to draw your attention to the fact that Cabinet authorized us to procure 400 acres of land. So for Dundu, you are aware that, Chair, that we had community resistance which delayed the utilization of the Dundu site. And when we had the emergency in August, we could not wait, so we went ahead to procure this other land in Buyala. In total, together with Dundu, if it is to remain a waste management site, we would be having 365, but that will be agreed on if it is to continue being a waste management site. We have secured that land, Chair, by planting a fence of trees around it, and this financial year we would like to complete the planting of trees so that we are able to secure the boundary. On the funding which was given to us...
How far has the case gone? Because there is a case in court about that Dundu land. Do you have an update?
Director Legal?
Before, let's hear about the case in court.
Honorable Chairman, if you could just give me short, I need to contact my people about it.
Okay. Honorable Kabulindi.
I'm just seeking clarification on this Dundu land. You have informed us that the community resisted. In case they continue to resist, do you have an arrangement with the person who sold you the land to refund?
By the way, colleagues may recall, those who visited this land too, in the first place, the person who brought the idea or even implemented the idea of buying that land should ordinarily be arrested. When you look at the nature of the land, you know, it is snake-like. We observed it in our report. There is no way you can dump garbage there without affecting the community, the surrounding community. Because everywhere you put the land, it will, I mean the garbage, it will spill over into somebody's land. You will be actually creating another Kcca of sorts. Honorable Mwezo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I would wish to know whether actually Kcca is a landfill or a dumping site. Because landfills are designed. Landfills are designed. They have specifics that are standards. So I would like to...
Does Kcca have them?
No. And therefore it was...
Then why are you asking us?
It was...
If it doesn't have what it takes to be a landfill,
I am looking at the
not.
name. Then why do we call it a landfill?
Because it was named so. You are called Balimwezo, not Lubega, because you were named so.
Therefore, Chair, my proposal is that we should go standard, and therefore we should have a landfill that is designed and operational as such.
That's your recommendation. Please, Honorable Itungo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to take a question from ED. Chair, that's a fundamental question. What's the plan for that land?
What is the plan for Dundu?
Are you just planting trees and you are making the forest?
Trees are on the boundaries to secure.
So what is the plan for the land?
Okay, I think maybe all you want is evidence that those matters were considered, as she said. Please supply us with the report. Bits. That one is a direct conflict of interest.
But this is about...
I expunge it from the microphone, from the record. Timelines, yes, that will be answered. Put it. Honorable Kabulindi.
Chair, as I commend KCC for looking for other areas, I'm still concerned about...
Colleagues, let's hear our honorable member.
I'm still concerned about Kcca.
Yes.
Chair, I don't know if you can allow me to go to 1.64.
Yes. Cracks?
Yeah. 1.64, where they have revealed notable cracks in various landfill spots. And I looked at what the accounting officer was responding by saying the accounting officer explained that a service provider had been identified to decommission and the purpose landfill has been identified. There was no competitive bidding, no what. And good enough, when it came to sourcing for monies from finance, there you are trapped. They are saying, no, you should do enough competitive bidding for others to take place before you look for monies. Now my question is that the way you have been handling issues? That such an important issue, you just identify somebody and somebody comes and say, I will fill those cracks, and you look for money? Won't we be doing the same problem, I mean creating another problem of that nature? And after even succeeding getting this, getting that advice from KCC, who are those ones who bid it and who qualified? And then you proceeded to look for the money with the partnership of another UN habitant of $1 million US. And you tell us how far you have gone with that.
Okay. Honorable Alan Mayanja, Deputy Chair.
Chair, thank you for the opportunity. Related to Honorable Bakabulindi's issue, when you look at that is 1.6.4 cracks within the landfill, that is Chitezi. The Solicitor General raised some issues pertaining to the cost implications proposed under the Chitezi decommissioning project. We need to know what are these issues which were raised, and the evidence, the correspondences between KCCA and the Solicitor General. We need the evidence of the correspondences pertaining to that. And related, still on Chitezi, Chair, when you look at the list,
I think the ED will be answering 1.163 and 1.164 together.
Yes.
They are related.
Chair, when you look at the response, specifically on funding for disaster response utilization, the ED and Lord Mayor, they are providing the list how they utilized the 4.92 billion, which was released by government during the Chitezi disaster. When you look at the table item and amount, part payment on Buyala land that we have considered, Katikolo dump site. My concern it is on Chitezi livelihood restoration package of 145 million. We need to know, we need the list of these people who were compensated, who were given the package. And specifically want to understand, is it the package of the 2 million per person? If it's the one, we need the list of this. And when you look at the meals for rescue team at Chitezi, it was 109 million. We still need the list of those people who were given this money, the meals for rescue. And lastly, on hire of toilets for camp for affected persons. We need to understand who were, for how long, how was it conducted, so that we can get the details of how these resources were utilized. Thank you, Chair.
Muzale.
Thank you, Chair. Chair. Andikire ku nsonga ery'ettaka mupiikinze interest engeri procurement n'ebintu by'egyaliwo lwaki mugetinga interest mu gundi eyo tuzibuli kuki?
Ekisooka tuli mu Luganda, ekisooka bw'oba ogula ettaka nga lya public ogenda dukozesa okuyamba buli muntu yenna, ate ng'ogenda kukozesa esente z'omuwa omusolo, olina okumanya ettaka lyengenda okugula ligenda kukola kye twagala okukola, ate n'ezo esente ze ntuufu okugula ettaka eryo. kakati obuzibu obuliwo nti Kcca egula ettaka nga tesoose kulaba ettaka lino linaakola oba tirikole, era bwe buzibu obwasooka ku ttaka ery'emukono erya Ddundu nti baagula ettaka nga bwe bateekako ebintu kasasiro bijja kukulukuta bigende mu mayumba g'abantu no mu mataka galala g'abantu. Kakati n'ettaka lyeno lye baagula, bw'olaba ettaka lye baagula bwe banaateekamu kasasiro nga bwe baagala mumuteekamu, kasasiro ejja kugenda eaffectinge abantu abalala ate bateekeko emisango oba bagaane ng'ab'emukono bwagana okukozesa ettaka kati osange nti esente za gavumenti oba ez'omuwa omusolo bazoonoona. Ekyokubiri, bw'oba ng'ogenda kugula ettaka olina okukola due diligence ng'okozesa ebitongole byonna ebirina kulaba nti ettaka ly'oguze ttuufu, abanema even n'aba security even n'ab'amataka bennyini okumanya nti n'ettaka lijja kuabsorbinga kasasiro oba tejja kuabsorbinga kasasiro. So kati obuzibu bw'etira Kcca bo baamala gagula ettaka ku ssente buwanana naye ng'ebyo byonna tebakoze ki, tebabikoze. Kati tujja kusanga nti nga bwe twawudde ettaka ly'emukono mukono kati bagamba nti ettaka batandise okusimbamu emiti tebamanyi kyakukozesa ate nga balugula ssente buwanana. So bwe obuzibu buli ku ttaka Kcca eryegula nga temaze kulaba ettaka tugenda tukozesa ki ate nga teinvolvinze baani abalina abakugu balina ojjwa amagezi ku ttaka lye bagenda okukozesa.
Akakiiko kennyini tulabye muyita former aid weighing bridges zino.
Kakati wobayiwa akasasiro waliwo okubeerawo minzaani emanya nti olunaku tuyako ebintu bwe biti, ebintu bwe bisukka obungi nga tebirina minzaani byo ebizibu bintu byajjula kakati ne floodinga era ne bikozinga accident.
and everyone. Rachel Awino, budget officer attached to the committee.
Morning, Chair and members.
Morning, Chair and members. My name is Aboke Emmanuel Eugene, Senior Auditor from Office of Auditor General, attached to the audit of Kcca. To the committee. Morning, Chair. My name is Rachel Musa from Office of Government Rate of Business, attached to this committee.
And our guest, my name is Kalvamuke Miriam Helga, Research Officer.
Morning, Chair. My name is Okumo, head the Kcca.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members of Parliament. I'm Mwalimu Moses Charles, Director of Treasury Services.
Taking long and mixing issues. Lord Mayor made a statement that he cannot even go in for the policy of purchasing because they are going to be stealing. Isn't it? No, wait. And then you are saying, you know the people of Kcca who stole and took to Rwanda. Oh, wait. To me, without even wasting time, why don't you mention the names so that we finish that one and we deal with another area? We're just rotating around the names. The Kcca, are they still there or they left? Mention the names. If it's the legal department which we are referring to, then after mentioning the names, we shall ask the legal officer, where are your colleagues? How far did you go?
Okay. Lord Mayor, would you answer that?
Myself to the mandate I have under the Kcca Act, Section 58, subsection 10, to implement the resolution, the recommendation of the Public Account.
Director Legal,
yes.
you were given instructions to work with the CID to cause the apprehension. Where
Honorable Chairman, it's true that during the, I think it was last year in the strategic planning retreat, when we were making reflections on where we've been and where we're going, the Lord Mayor raised this issue, that 13 years ago, way bridges were stolen from Kcca, and there was an allegation that some of our staff then sold them, and the CID had been asked to do that investigation. Yeah, 13 years ago. So
about 2012.
Yeah, it's 13 years ago. So when he informed us of that, I committed to ask our current CID team to dig it up and give a report to management. This happened a few months ago. It was when we had the retreat. So this investigation is ongoing, but we can follow up and find out how far it has gone. But for now, I don't have any latest update on that.
If you mark the words you have used, Mr. Frank Rusa, we can follow up.
We will.
So that means you've not been following up.
No, when that instruction was made, CID was informed. So CID has not yet updated us.
Can you share with us a reference and the instructions to CID?
We have got a CID unit.
Can you give us evidence of that instruction?
Okay, we'll do that.
Was it verbal?
We called for a meeting and had a conversation, but it was recorded in minutes of the meeting.
Let's have that by close of business today.
This is an incident that happened in 2012. And the reports are out in 2025. The PAC report. So, the CPAC report. So, Mr. Chair, I need to be perhaps helped to understand. What was the reason of failure to identify the problem there and then, where we have so many departments responsible for management?
Proceed, Honorable Mzari.
Mr. Chairman, my concern is one. The incident happens in 2012. It's being reported on 2025.
I just want to understand what happened in there. Because we have the internal auditors system, we have the one who was responsible
actually,
for that.
to supplement yours for contextualization, the report manages to even identify where the way bridges were sold. That would call for intervention of even Interpol.
Mr.
Because
Chairman,
wait,
Chairman, I need some clarification there.
and by the way,
when was
the way bridges went through your constituency.
Well, but when was it noticed that it is missing?
You see, the problem we are dealing with, why it's bigger and more complex, is that by the Auditor General, then it goes to CPAC, the City Public Accounts Committee. Now, the tracking would involve CID interfacing with the auditors to give them part of the information they received. How they even came to identify where the way bridges were sold. CID, working with ESO and Interpol, would even go and identify where the way bridges are, and would even get to know who actually sold them. It is also a matter that involves foreign relations. That you have your property stolen and found in another jurisdiction, in a neighboring jurisdiction. Now, we do not even know whether where they were sold is a facility managed by the government or by a private player like ours here. I think it is bigger than that. Frank Russo, would you call your CID officer who is handling this matter now? We will give you a minute to excuse yourself. Call that CID officer or the head to come here now. Wait. Not on this. Please do that. Honorable Tungo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Kabulindi, I will manage the proceedings properly. Honorable Itungo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've not gotten an opportunity to look at the report, but I would imagine after raising the issue, there is an explanation of the accounting officer. And Mr. Chairman, Article 164 of the Constitution is very clear on the matters of accountability. That even when the accounting officer ceases to hold the office, he can still be summoned to account. And Mr. Chairman, Article 9 of the Constitution and the rules of procedure gives us power as a committee to summon any person. So, Chair, why don't we trace who was the accounting officer to come and account? As you summon the CIDs, who was the accounting officer by then, and why didn't the person come and account for that query, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chair, I think to be helped
is we want to know in which audit report that matter came up. Lord Mayor, which report was this?
2011, 2012. But it was specifically 2011.
So it means that the audit report of 2011-12 was only reviewed in 2025 by the CPAC.
Chair, it's a long story.
Yes.
For several years we didn't have a CPAC. It's against the constitution of the CPAC. At least since 2011 I've been around and I've been struggling to have a CPAC in place. Finally it is in place. But that time there was no CPAC.
So it is dealing with the backlog.
Exactly.
Who was the accounting officer at the time?
Chair, those were the days of impeachment.
No, but there was an accounting officer.
The accounting officer was Jennifer Semakula Musisi.
Okay. I think before we even zero on where accounting officer, we want to look to read this report, including the Auditor General's report in issue. We would invite, therefore, Madam Jennifer Semakula Musisi, who was the director in charge of Ccca, where the thing was lost. Because there was a director, she was the executive director, there was also a responsible director for the docket. Yes. During those days, for those who can remember, we can still find out. It's not a difficult thing to know.
Mr. Chairman, some clarification.
Yes, clarification.
Mr. Chairman, we are dealing with something that was addressed or should have been addressed.
Give them to you. Leave you with the responsibility to protect them. You steal them, we lock you up. We sell your property. Because even this one, we are not leaving it here. Okay? It has to be discussed. I think this is how we are going to conclude. Shall we have a report from Frank Rusa on CID? Because
an opportunity to speak with the head of CID, SCP Mugwesaje, and he has informed me that he's out of jurisdiction. He has gone on official duty, but he has committed to making an appearance here next time he's summoned to give this honorable committee an update of.
We shall have a report next week from Mr. Mugwesaje. For now, Mugwesaje will come here. Of course, the question Honorable Chiwanuka is asking is legitimate, except that interrogating it will take time. Because